Hey y'all, how you doing this morning? This video may be more appropriate for my over 50 channel, or it may be more appropriate for my reselling channel. I'm not sure, so you're both gonna get it. Because, well, after I start, then you'll know. Okay. Well, first of all, as most of you know, I've been having trouble getting boxes from Goodwill Blue Box. I haven't shopped with them until last month in over a year because I could not end up getting my boxes. And when I went to try to get a jewelry box, of course, they were all gone because I'm slow, I guess. But anyway, to make a long story short, today is Friday. And I have been emailing Goodwill Blue Box all weekend. I mean, all week. Where is my box? What are you going to do about my box? Why did one go to Mesquite, Texas, and why did one go to Winston, Georgia? Because I never lived in either place. So, never got an answer. So, benefit of the doubt, I wrote him again this morning, real early. Still no answer. I just finally got fed up and pulled up the email for corporate. And I sent an email, and it really doesn't sound, you know, I ain't going to read it on here, but I was pissed. I just said, you know, all of a sudden, most of us resellers started getting most of our boxes from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I said, all I need to say to you is that 2-3 years ago, we weren't having this kind of problem, and we know it's about Christmas time, and mail gets slow. But when you take somebody's mail, and it's sent from the place that you're supposedly receiving it to, because that's what they did on this. No, on the first box, the one I finally got, what they did, they didn't even, they must have did it online with the UPS. I don't know what they did, but it said Grand Saline, Texas, which is where I live, and that was the return address, okay? So it was saying that the box itself was coming from Grand Saline and going to Mesquite, Texas. Okay, well, I don't know how they figured that one out. My nose has been, sorry guys. Okay, I don't know how they figured that one out, but a few days later, I had complained about it, of course, and never got an answer, as usual. And so I was surprised when it finally showed up. So I thought, okay, well, that's cool. Maybe my other one will show up now. Well, I'm still waiting on the other one. And yes, I think it was yesterday. I don't know if I told you guys this. Yesterday or the day before. The day before, I believe. I got a text from USPS telling me, congratulations, your box was delivered at your house. Well, I didn't read no further. I just opened the door to see, oh yeah, well, let me get it. Wasn't there. So I read the rest of the message, and it said, congratulations, your box was just dropped off at your residence in Winston, Georgia. I said, oh my God, I just don't get it. See, I'm a little bit confused because the postage was really cheap back in the day, okay? Back in the 70s, 80s, you know, is what I'm talking about. It was pretty cheap. I mean, back then, maybe we thought it wasn't. I don't remember, but it was a hell of a lot cheaper than 79 cents for first-class postage today's stamp. But the service was much better. I don't really ever remember my mom getting anything back in the mail that she sent out unless the people moved or something like that, and didn't leave a forwarding address. I'm not sure what's going on, but as you know, we've had a lot of raises going on in the last 18 months from USPS. Oh, we need a raise for this. Oh, we need a raise for that. Oh, we need to throw out those, what was that? They threw out these, like, really expensive machines because they were going to replace it with something else, and the machines were only like 2 years old or something. And I said, oh, Lord, we're going to be paying for them, watch. And sure enough, they got another raise. Well, then they said they were going to make a raise. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe I heard it from several people. They were going to get another raise for Christmas, for the season. And then when the season was over, they were going to drop it back down. That was the last word I heard until yesterday. And I heard in January they want another raise on postage, on packages, on whatever. And I said, the way that they deliver my mail, there's a lady that does videos on here. I love her channel. It's called Solo in the Woods. And it's a really good channel, and she talks about a lot of stuff that affects people. And she just turned 70 today. You need to go check her channel out, Solo in the Woods. She has a little cabin in the woods, and I believe it's up in Maine. And, tiny house cabin. But anyway, she talks about stuff like, you know, things the way that, like, families, the way they act and all this and that. But now I lost my train of thought, what I was going to talk about and why I said that, of course, because I'm aggravated. I'm so aggravated because I wouldn't mind giving the postal workers a raise again, except for the fact that they no longer go the distance, okay? The distance, not just the extra mile, the distance of what we're expecting them to do. Like, I told somebody yesterday on one of the videos that, you know, we have a neighborhood, like I think a lot of neighborhoods have this, where they get online, they can talk about things that are happening or going on or whatever. I've seen so many people on there saying, hey guys, you know, they said they took a picture of my package on my porch. This is not my porch. Has anybody seen my packages? And I mean, not just one person, a whole bunch of people, okay? And why would they have, when they sent that one package, the first jewelry box, when they mailed that one out from Goodwill, I can't believe that they would have put the return address as Grand Saline and that the new address or the send to address as somewhere in Georgia. I don't know how they did that. I just don't know how they did that. I mean, especially now. Good Lord, I had to use my damn Rolodex or my sheets of paper that were in alphabetical order to get people's addresses when I worked in an office when I was young. I never made the mistakes like that. Did I make mistakes? Sure. You know, but I mean, it seems like the more technology and the more races we give people, the more screwed up they get. I don't get it. And see, I guess I've had bones to pick with Goodwill itself, not just with Goodwill Blue Box. This is Goodwill Blue Box I'm talking about right now. But Goodwill itself, the CEO got fired, and that's a story you'll have to go read, okay? And everybody's complaining, not just resellers, people who go to Goodwill to buy their kids clothes for school because that's all they can afford to buy. And You walk in this little Goodwill we have in the next town over here, and I mean, the town's only about 40,000 people, if that. If that. And, what was I going to say? Damn it. Oh, their shoes they have all kinds of new stuff from Walmart that I guess was either donated or something. Now, people have told me that a lot of that stuff is donated. Most of it's donated. They do not put cheaper prices on it for people that go to Goodwill to buy the stuff, at a price they can afford or, whatever. And I imagine it's partly because us resellers were going there and we were picking up, probably still going there. I haven't been going there, but a lot have. And getting things, and reselling it. And I got that. But we're not doing that without doing work. These people need to understand that because some of the things are a little flawed, even if they're new. And we might have to fix them up. We might need to put a button on, whatever. We have to drive to go shopping. That is not free. Hello, I wish it was. So we have to drive to go shopping. Most of us damn sure don't make much on our platforms. There are some that make good. That's good. But most of us, we're not like, oh, we got this nice job like the Congress people do. No. Anyway, so if they're going to charge exactly what Walmart charges, and then they also got Goodwill Blue Box, and they got Shop Goodwill, which I believe that all the good things, most of the good things are going to Shop Goodwill now because most of the items you get are, I don't know, pretty crappy. Not the ones you go buy, but if you buy a mystery box from them. I used to buy clothes mystery boxes from Goodwill Blue Box, and I used to get 40 pieces of clothes, I think it was, for $40. And that was only like a year and a half ago. Now, it's $150, I believe. I can't remember. $120, $150 for the same ass box with 40 pieces. Yeah. And, like I said, I would probably pay that if it was decent clothes. But if I'm going to buy clothes like that and then pay $40, $50 for shipping, I'd rather pay $10 gas and go to Goodwill and pick the shit out by myself. I mean, that's just how I feel. And I get really, really perturbed at them, especially, see, these 2 boxes I bought costed the same amount of money as a 5-pound jewelry box, mixed jewelry box. And it was a craft and repair box. Both the boxes are craft and repair boxes. Granted, this first one I opened, the repairs were nominal. I mean, but you're still using yourself, to work on them, and you still have to buy the jump rings and stuff like that. Well, when I get jump rings and I get earring backs and stuff like that, I do not use the junk. And the reason I don't is because I'm allergic to it. So if it's not at least sterling silver, the hoop, the things that go in your ear, the wires and the post, and also the little jump rings. That's not too bad with the jump rings, but I prefer to buy the sterling ones because they're not that much more expensive. And but anyway, there's people spending $70-something for a box from Goodwill Blue Box. Okay, that's 15 pieces. 15 pieces. With the postage, it comes out to be $70-something. And I'm thinking, on some of the boxes. Now, some of them, they have some decent stuff, okay? But on other ones, the amount of stuff in there, I don't know if I would say that it's worth that much. Not really. I wouldn't. I bought that box, that 15-piece, one time. And I don't know what happened, guys. The stupid thing went off. Anyway. So I don't know where I left off, but I did send them the letter. I told them we've been getting stuff for the last probably year from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I didn't know why we were only getting shipments mainly from that outlet, and but that was fine. But the customer service is just terrible. I said, it's just terrible. There's no excuse for not answering an email, especially 6 or more, which is what I sent. I said, all I wanted to know is that they were on it, they were going to figure out the problem, or send a new box out. That's all I wanted to know. And I said, I'm just one of your very dissatisfied customers, and I've already ruined my opinion on Goodwill, period, because of all the crap that's happening with Goodwill, like your CEO being fired because he was doing shit that was illegal and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. They can give me a refund for all I care. I'll go buy me some jewelry jars, even if I have to drive somewhere, because this isn't the first time with Goodwill Blue Box that I've been through this. I have had this happen before. However, within a couple of days, they did email me back. And they have not even said, kiss my ass, how are you? Nothing. We're on it, nothing. So, I don't know what you guys experience with them. I know a lot of people like to buy their jewelry boxes. Some people get some good things inside those boxes. Not as many as used to, you know. But they got to make a change. They really have to make a change. You know, sometimes when stores themselves make changes, they find that it's not really a change the customer wanted or appreciated, or, you know, their revenue went down because they did something different or whatever. To me, when you have a business, that's like my business that I have with reselling. You have to answer your customers' emails. If they have a problem or if they're commenting something nice about you, you know. And that's the way I was taught from the time I started work. And that was early. But I don't know what's happening nowadays. I really don't. And I don't know how people are going to feel about me making this video, because some people really, really like Goodwill. But before I go, I will tell you, my ex-sister-in-law, my brother's ex-wife, we knew each other since we were 13 years old, probably younger than that. And when we got to be teenagers and then we got married and everything, her and I would go together. We would go to the thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, you name it. We went there. And there was customer service. I can tell you that. There was customer service. It's like, to me, I'm comparing Goodwill Blue Box with the way Walmart, when you walk into Walmart, like, they don't have the greeters anymore. Them poor little old ladies were the only bright spot of Walmart, really. So, and I don't mean by their merchandise, because I shop there too, but their people, their customer service. It's like they act like you're damn bothering them if you ask them, can you tell me where the pledge is or whatever, you know? I don't know how these people work and get away with that crap, because, man, let me tell you, I had some bosses that have chewed me out to tears for doing way less than that. Just for accidentally hanging up on somebody. I'm not kidding. You know, I think, no, bosses shouldn't do that either. But, you know, come on. Life is just getting too complicated. It really is. It's just like you go in the store and people are scanning their stuff, and it's like, you're lucky if they say good morning. If they do, it's usually morning. Then they get mad when something don't scan. You're looking for them to throw it at you because that's the face. That's the face they give you, like, you had to buy this product and it don't scan. Okay, so I'm exaggerating a little. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I want some comments down there. I want to know what you think of Goodwill Blue Box for one thing. What you think of the stores for the other thing. And I don't know. Whatever you want to tell me, let me know. I want to know that I'm not the only one that sees this. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's not just Goodwill, though. It's the mail, too. Everybody wants more money, you know. I remember all the little streetwalkers up there and by McDonald's and shit wanting more money and this and that. And that's cool because I worked at McDonald's myself when I was younger, and they do work your behind off. But if you want more money, do your freaking job. Be nice to people when they come in. I used to have a grouchy woman who used to come through my lane all the time when I worked at Winn-Dixie. I mean, and I won. And yes, I'm proud of it. I wanted a cashier pin as for friendliest cashier, okay, for 2 years in a row. And people thought I was ass-kissing or something, you know, but I wasn't. All I did was try to be nice. This lady would come through. She was always aggravated. She was my biggest supporter to win. Mm-hmm. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your Goodwills are charging in your neighborhoods. Like, do you have some merchandise that's new in there that they still have the original tag from the original store on, and that's what they're charging? I'm just curious, because one thing, I can't wait until they make it more public about what happened with that CEO. Because I know I heard something about him he was using some of the stuff and starting his own resale business or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, I just don't get people no more. We're all not perfect. I'm not perfect either. But, you know, to me, customer service is probably the biggest thing. Because you're the person is going to look at when you leave. You know, when they leave. You're usually the last person. Or the person on the telephone. And we do have a lot of weird, rude people that do call up. And they do give these people too much crap on the phone too. And I understand that. But you have to learn how to shut that part out and just try to help them the best you can. And know that the phone call is going to be over soon. I love y'all. I hope you understand everything I'm telling you, because I know I went back and forth. But up until now, it's noon. I haven't got my box. I haven't got an email, unless it's in there now, since I've been making my video here. And Goodwill Blue Box, you really need to answer your emails. And you can't tell me that you don't have enough people, because there's plenty of people looking for jobs. I love y'all. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the channel buzzer so you'll get all my videos. And I'll see you on the next one.